You are listening to the Kentucky X-Files Season 3 with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also visit us at www.kyxfiles.com. And now, on to our show.
Talk about that.
I wish that we could get North Carolina Jake in on this, because he was the one that actually told me about it. So he has more information than I do. But yeah, they fucking lost an entire fighter jet. There's videos of guys going to like the military barricades where the roads are blockaded, like, hey, did you guys lose a fighter jet? And the military police are like arresting them and shit for even asking.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder,
Are
how
you
do
sure?
you lose a fighter jet? You know?
Is that the? Oh, okay, yeah, that's the one that actually crashed. It crashed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw that video.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys, to your Kentucky X-Files.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the conversation Jake and I had about it, because this was a few months ago, so it may take me a minute to dig back here and find it.
Oh shit. A fighter. I mean, like, I could see losing your keys.
Right.
You know, you lose your keys somewhere. But
Yeah.
They're just outside, just clicking the panic button.
the fuck was that fighter jet we had
Where
sitting
the
here?
fuck? God damn it!
Yeah.
Doot, doot.
Yeah. They're troop 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 troop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it. Just chatter amongst yourselves, and I'll try to find the thing he sent me.
I just don't see how the hell you could lose a whole fighter jet. But I mean, anything's possible, right? We were just talking about how they just found a bunch of oil one day.
Yeah.
Like back in the day where they were like, "Oh, we're losing oil. We don't have enough.
Yeah.
Oh, we found some. Don't worry."
It's funny you started talking about that, because something came up that I was reading, and I was actually reading an article, or trying to read an article, based on this whole Elon Musk lawsuit against marketing advertisers, and the whole thing where they're like they had marketing ads that were following neo-Nazi pages, and it's a whole thing. But one of the things that came up that I completely forgot about was when CNN rigged Chevrolet trucks to blow up so that they could have you don't remember that? I remember watching the news and
No,
seeing
I don't remember
this
that.
stuff on the news. Yeah, they rigged now I'm going to say this, and when I say this, I need you to look over your shoulder and make sure Scotty doesn't appear.
Okay.
But they rigged square body Chevys to blow up so that they would have this huge thing to talk about them being unsafe, because back in the day, the gas tanks were on the outside of the frame. And
what the hell?
yeah, and while they couldn't get them to do it normally, they thought that just because they thought it was going to be dangerous because the tank was outside the frame, they decided to make this big thing about it. And then they rigged the trucks to explode. Yeah.
What?
So CNN would have a story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shame on you, CNN.
Yeah, and they had to make a formal apology to General Motors and retract it. But of course, nobody saw the retraction, because the actual thing, their article or their videos they produced were everywhere, on every news article or in every news channel you flipped on. It was Chevy trucks exploding on impact. I cannot find this conversation. I'm sorry. I keep digging, looking for it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, they Well, look it up. Look it up. Pull a video up. I'm sure you'll find something.
Okay.
This was in the 80s. It was it was either the late 80s or the very early 90s, but the trucks involved were the 73 to 87 body style trucks. And CNN made all these really wild, outlandish videos. I mean, like, we're talking like modern cinema, like Michael Bay level stuff, you know?
Yeah.
They rigged them to explode.
It was, it says here it was NBC.
Was it NBC?
NBC apology is a victory for GM as it seeks to battle a potentially huge liability problem. It will not end the automaker's legal and public.
Before I go any further, then let me retract my previous statement and apologize to CNN that was not the shady thing that they did. I'm sure there's other shady shit they did, but that was not it. So NBC, yeah, that's right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I cannot find it anywhere. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, if you pull a video up of it, I'm sure there's a YouTube video of those trucks being hitting the side and the fireball that ensues.
Let me see if I can.
That happened with what was it, the Gremlin or
Pinto was the
Pinto.
one you're thinking of. Yeah, it's the rear.
Yeah.
The
rear collision. Fucking just.
Yeah.
Is it just like the sheer force of the impact, like it combusts basically under the pressure of it being squished like that, or maybe metal just sparking it?
I'm not sure what their exact. I was a kid when the thing was going on, so I just remember seeing trucks that people I knew drove.
I found the video of that. I found this guy the guy that was talking about the jet, and he went to the town and asked people, the guy that got arrested, but it's on a TikTok that's not. It's not him. It's one of those people that literally takes videos from everybody and they make TikToks out of it.
And then they put their face in the corner with all their
shit.
No.
I hate that. People that do TikToks that do that need to stop. Nobody wants to see your stupid face.
All right, here you go.
Dateline NBC, a primetime news program, airs a story in 1992 entitled Waiting to Explode. The story includes footage demonstrating that a line of trucks produced by General Motors readily explode on impact.
To see for ourselves what might happen in a side impact crash, Dateline NBC hired the Institute for Safety Analysis to conduct crash demonstrations. Unlike GM tests, the fuel tanks were filled with real gasoline. Look what happened. At impact, a small hole was punctured in the tank. According to our experts, the pressure of the collision and the crushing of the gas tank forced gasoline to spew from the gas cap. The fuel then erupted into flames when ignited by the impacting car's headlight.
After the program airs, one of the firemen at the taping of the crash contacts GM. The conversation inspires a full-scale investigation. 3 months later, NBC is forced to reveal their role in fabricating the news.
Right?
Casey's contractor did put incendiary devices under the trucks to ensure that there would be a fire if gasoline were released from the truck's gas tank.
We said the crash, quote, forced gasoline to spew from the fuel cap, end quote. GM says since the gas cap was the wrong cap for the GM filler tube, and because the gas tank was overfilled, the cap came off when the impact occurred.
We agree with GM that we should have told our viewers about these devices.
The Dateline reporter, however, said, quote, at impact, a small hole was punctured in the tank, unquote. GM has now x-rayed that tank and found no hole.
We acknowledge the placing of the incendiary devices under the truck was a bad idea from start to finish.
That's our new policy, and we'll be right back.
Wow. Right. They are so good at that too. How do you apologize for being a dick and make everybody else sound like the dick while you're doing it?
Yeah.
We at NBC. acknowledge that we completely fabricated that. However, we also apologize for adding the stuff that we did there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I feel
like
like a bunch of buttholes, huh?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that chain of events that they tried to pass off as true. Was a small hole was punctured in the gas tank, and the resulting headlight being fractured on the car ignited that gas.
That's
Now, there's a lot of people out there that doesn't understand gasoline, and I understand that people think that it's crazy volatile, and it is to a degree. But you can put a cigarette out in a puddle of gas.
Yep.
It's not the liquid that ignites.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you can flood an engine. It's the atomization that is what catches gas on fire. So in order for that small puncture and that headlight, I mean, we're talking like a chain of events that, like, it would have to be just like this absolute perfect storm where this tiny hole punctures in the gas tank. And not only does it puncture in the gas tank, but somehow manages to circumvent the bed of the truck,
Right.
create an atomized stream that sprays into a broken headlight where the elements are arcing. You know what I mean? Like, try to light a Zippo lighter in the wind.
Yeah. Right.
Once it's lit, yeah, you're good. But you know what I mean? It's like it's madness. And they tried to pass it off. And then, like you said, tried to make everybody else look like an asshole for calling them out on it.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing that gets me is the zero accountability.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, we may have did this, but you watched it.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You believed it.
Yeah.
Well, and what we should do now, this thought just popped in my head, is I think that I should say NBC just like that, and you should too. And then we should take that little clip that I just said and go back, and everywhere where I said CNN, just pop that over it.
Yeah.
Because that's my bad.
That in the edit.
I was reading 6 articles and every one of them blended together. my apologies. I got my call letters wrong. But yeah,
it don't matter.
That's what they get for having close call levers.
They all kind of spew the same bullshit anyway. So.
I mean, yeah, it's all a rhetoric. It's every bit of it. Go on, Tyler. We keep interrupting you.
No, I was just about to say that. I wonder if they actually then. What about the Pinto? Like, was that an actual thing, or like was that a news article about the Pinto like the rear collisions for it? Like, I wonder if that was.
I think that the Pinto was legit.
Legit? Okay.
Yeah. I think the situation with the Pinto, I think that it was so many fireball accidents with that car that it caused the news. Because wasn't that like around the time Ralph Nader started getting involved?
I can't remember. Probably.
I'm fucking you. I don't remember. I don't even think. Probably when remember. When did that start? Like in the 80s or 90s?
I'm looking it up.
Oh, Ralph. The Nader. The Tornader, they used to call him.
So, okay.
Did they?
No.
The Pinto thing was because there was 38 individual fires with 27 fatalities.
There's 30, how many?
38 fires with 27 fatalities and 24 non-fatal burns resulting from the rear collisions with Pintos. So, let's see. Let's see if I can find anything. I can't find anything on the square bodies actually catching on fire.
Talk about the old Chevros.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire catches them.
They might burn oil, but they keep going.
That's right.
Yeah, so I can't find anything explicit that says how many side impact fires were on that. But the Pinto was, I believe, a legit concern. And I think that is around the time Ralph Nader started getting involved, and they changed seat belts and door latches. And
Yeah.
it was, he really came in and made a big change in the auto industry.
Yeah.
I think that's when it happened.
You know, it's a funny thing about those square body Chevros is, did you know that you can take the engine out of it and still limp it to work the next day? Chevro.
That's because 16 bald eagles will come out of the sky and push it to your destination.
Right.
Because that's America.
18 if it's a 3/4 ton.
Yeah.
I heard that they had to work on the exhaust because when they first came out, the exhaust was kicking off F2 tornadoes as it went past. That's just what I heard. I don't know. I'm sure they would have covered that right up. You know what I mean? The old Chevros. You know,
It's amazing.
yeah. Good times. But that's it though. This is the news.
Mm-hmm.
It's the news. You know, you got to make up shit if you're going to do the news.
I just want to know what they would have done to tell that lie. Like, yeah, these Chevrolets, when they drive, they're at like this certain speed,
Yeah.
and then next you know they do a very shitty cut of another like tornado in the background as they're passing by.
Oh man.
See?
Okay,
It
so
makes
this
tornadoes.
this isn't the only time that NBC's been caught lying.
Oh, not NBC.
So Brian Williams was caught lying about his experience in the war-torn Iraq. If you remember, he lied about being shot at and being in a Humvee or something like that, and he was never there.
I remember this vaguely, but I can't.
I think
it's very like I don't know. Like I remember hearing something about that, but
that's kind
if
of
I
like
saw
the
his
whole
face, I probably remember it.
That just reminds me of like the whole, you know, like, hey, didn't we go to different schools together?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a whole meme on Brian Williams. Let's see if I can.
You know, you made it. You did something fucked up or something awesome if you become a meme.
I know.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Have we been memed yet?
I don't believe.
I mean, by anybody other than ourselves.
I was there.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So he's got a whole meme.
You know what? I want to see one of you guys out there that watch this. I want to see you meme us. Don't let me down on this. Meme the shit out of us.
Let's see here.
I can't wait.
I feel like since I've like called myself like a Neanderthal because of my forehead, somebody's going to put those. Remember those old Geico commercials? It's so easy. Tyler can do it.
Yeah.
Like, son, fuck you. I'm going to make that.
Oh, it was a helicopter.
That was a good one.
Brian Williams said he was in a helicopter. That's right.
But he wasn't in a helicopter?
In the Army?
That's what he said he was. No, he was supposed to be there reporting.
Oh.
I gotcha. Okay. I don't know. That kind of seems, you know.
Oh my God. He tried to say that his helicopter was forced down by enemy fire in Iraq in 2003. And a bunch of veterans and pundits came up and was like, nah, didn't happen.
No, man. See, that's funny. I like that. I think it's interesting, mainly because it's like I think that calling these douchebags out over and over again is probably the best thing you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Did you ever? I mean, you go back to the beginning though. All right, you get national news, right? Why do we need to know if it has nothing to do with our like quality of life?
Right.
Why do I need to know about a dude in Florida, that punched an old lady and stole her dog? I don't need to know that. But the people of Florida should know that because that dude lives there. They should guard themselves, guard their old ladies. But did you ever notice that though? It's like with the news, it's like we thrive on the more drama there is, we thrive on it. We need it. It's like we need to see horrible shit happening all over the planet, and it's terrible.
Holy crap. Okay, so he tried to say he was on a helicopter that was shot at by rockets, and 4 helicopters had to land in the desert, right? And another fella who was actually on the helicopter that was shot said that Mr. Williams' helicopter was part of a different mission and at least 30 minutes behind theirs.
Wow. So he's kind of fudged the details a little bit there.
Mr. Summerlin said that. Yeah, Mr. Summerlin was one on the Chinook that was shot. Wow.
I mean, shot at, not shot at, Was he over there? Was he in Iraq?
Yeah, he was over there, but he was 30 minutes behind in travel.
Yeah. Well, so he could say like, yeah, I was over there in a helicopter and there was rockets being fired at helicopters and they had to land.
Right.
As long as he said it quickly, he could probably could have got away with that.
Right. Apparently that there was a lot of military members that were over there that had been absolutely fed up with his lying for years and have tried to contact media outlets to get him to stop, and nobody paid any attention. What it took is him getting on David Letterman, talking about his events, and on all these veterans and pundits being like, nope, didn't happen. I was on the helicopter that was shot down. He wasn't.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, while we're on the topic of misinformation in news, I have a question for you guys. I want your opinions of it.
We got a nice segue here.
Yes.
Segue.
I'm gonna. Okay, hold on. I got to get a picture of a segue for this, just for Danny.
So the last couple of months, we saw the UFO disclosure. We saw the oversight committee panel. You guys remember all that stuff? I think we watched the oversight committee on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, with what's his David Grush.
Yeah, Grush or Grouse.
And that other there was another pilot or something. Wasn't there 3?
There's several.
I thought there was only 3 at the place.
My question that I wanted your guys' opinions on was when the topic of segue.
We got to keep that.
See that? when the topic of how many crafts are in possession, they are not allowed to discuss it. And they say it's a matter of national security. It's classified. Now, to me, when I hear that, I'm like, not answering is a big goddamn answer here. But why do you guys think that if the whole topic is in debate, it's a 50-50 debate right now, whether or not shit is going on and what it is, why would the possession or no possession of non-human crafts be top secret? Why would that be top secret if there's nothing there? That's my question. And I've been wrestling with this for like a week, and I still haven't got a good answer.
You got something, Tyler?
I kind of like, because it's.
I see the head cocked.
I've always had this, like, I guess it's a conspiracy inside of the, like, all of this. I do believe, in my opinion, I still don't know if they're out there. I've never had an experience. I've never really saw anything unexplained in the sky to give my opinion, like, give it some weight and say, like, yes, I believe in that. But I do believe that there's something might be out there. But what I keep thinking is that it's something that distracts us. This is something that's unique in itself, and especially when the government's getting involved, you're even more distracted. So I feel like every time when something like this big, like this happens, something unique, something that intrigues almost everybody in the world, they give you bits and pieces. They might have something, but they're not going to give you everything. And because if you're a whistleblower, why are you fucking giving a shit what you say? You're already, I guess, I don't know the proper term, but you're already technically screwed because you're saying national secrets, saying this already. So, like, what's another disclosing another one again?
I think in the instance of David Grush, though, you're talking a government employed whistleblower. He's paid by one government agency to figure out what the UAP phenomenon is. So even though he's whistleblowing, he still has to follow the rules of that, you know what I mean, that are imposed to him by his agency and who he reports to. There's some shit he's not allowed to talk about.
But
he's not like Fred in his basement, with all this stuff on the walls, like whistleblowing on his YouTube channel. He's like actually employed by Congress to go do this shit. You know what I mean?
And I get it that he I know there was a bunch of, like, where some of his like his information that he has disclosed, like, especially him saying that there's multiple ships. He got this information from somebody that's inside the government, and he doesn't want to disclose their names because they are an employee of that. And the terrible thing about that too, okay, something that top secret. What's the best? You've always heard this, like, saying, what's the best way to keep a secret between three people?
Kill the other two.
Yes. So that big of a secret, you know for a fact there's not that many people that know. And him saying that they're like, the motherfucker that leads this fucking, like, secret group, like, looking around the like cafeteria, seeing like 6 people or something. Which one of you motherfuckers said something?
Right.
Like, it's like it's an easy countdown.
Even on the what do you call it? Even on the oversight committee, they asked him. They were like, "And how many crafts do you have, or do they have?" And he's like, I cannot discuss that in this forum, but I would be willing to do what did they kept calling it? I can't remember.
Like private consultation or something.
Yeah, provided that clearance was what do you call it?
Yeah.
Like, he kept saying that as long as their clearance was good, he could tell them. And I'm like, okay, you can't say that to Congress unless it's true. You can't say, I can tell you if your clearance is good. You can't go in front of Congress and say shit like that, because you got 90 people that are probably going to be cross-referencing you and cross-checking you and whatever, and then end up in fucking, what do you call it, perjury. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it was weird to me because it was like there was details that were given and then details that were not allowed to be given. And I'm like, man, it would have been better to say no comment, or I'm not able to answer that. You know.
So do me a favor, because I want to make sure that I answer correctly.
Yeah.
Repeat the question in an abridged version for me, and I think I have an answer.
Okay. So during these meetings, they would ask questions like, how many crafts are in, blah blah blah, possession, and he would say, I'm not allowed to answer that in this forum because of national security or whatever. My question was, say, why answer like that? Because to me, answering like that is a big goddamn answer.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay,
you know what I mean?
So
why not avoid it altogether?
This was on a public stage, correct?
Yeah.
Viewable all over the world.
Sure.
They don't have shit, but they don't want to look like they don't have shit in case somebody else does have it.
Gotcha.
That would be my assumption on this one. That's my best guess, is if they were to say 3, or 2, then they're admitting to something that isn't true in court, and that would be perjury.
Yeah.
If they say we don't have anything, then you run the risk of another country, looking like they have more than you, looking like they have more information than you. Then all of a sudden another government seems more powerful in the public eye.
Right.
If you say, I can't answer that in this context, I need to make sure you have clearance high enough to get the information. Then on the public stage, you've said, yes, we have them, but I can't say here what we have.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah. I mean,
that's where I'm at with it. Is that's what I think it is they really don't have jack shit, but they don't want to look like they don't have jack shit.
Do you guys think that there's jack shit to be had?
I don't want to say like there could be, like, because I don't
think they do.
But yeah, that's the thing. I've said this before, is that there's unexplained things that will go on, and they don't want to look like they're not, like, because the government is supposed to protect us from foreign invaders, even if it's from outer space, basically. So if they don't know what's going on, what are you like? Who are we going to fuck it? Like, who's going to protect us? Like, they don't want to scare the American people, saying that they don't know. And when you say you don't know as a leader, that's terrifying in itself.
Exactly.
So you have to kind of fudge it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I think this is 100% psychological. I'm in agreement with Tyler on this one, and I'll go one step further and say that the reason why, like, say Roswell, for instance, it was easier to make it look like a government cover-up than for an alien than an actual government cover-up for some sort of a war used tool, a tool for destruction, right?
Yeah.
So my thought is that Roswell was actually U.S. military equipment that crashed, right? It was way easier to be like, let them all think it's an alien for 2 or 3 days and then come out and say, nah, it's a weather balloon. Because then everybody's like, well, this is an alien. They're covering it up, right? The thing we have to think about is if there is spacecraft coming from another world,
yeah,
it has the technology to get here. If it has the technology to get here, it's not just going to show up and crash. We have that technology to keep vehicles from crashing on the road now, right?
Yeah.
Our drummer, Dave, his car has an auto drive feature. When he puts it in cruise control, if it rolls up on somebody doing 45 and he's doing 55, the car will automatically slow down. We have that technology. Yeah. How terrifying would it be to think that these people are so much more advanced? It's easier to give them the false hope that these are not that advanced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no way you're going to come from light years away from another galaxy, another planet, another solar system, come to Earth and crash land. It's just not going to happen. If you have that technology, you have far superior technology.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this too. Like, yeah, I believe like 100% with Josh on that. But no matter how advanced you are, accidents can happen. Like, so if anything, they could have a couple, but like, yeah, like he was saying, like, come on, like, we have cars that like, literally, have you seen the Google car or whatever it was? It drives itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need, there's no driver or anything. Is you just get in it and it drives itself.
We
like,
shot a satellite into space from Earth, predicting the trajectory of a I think it was a comet or an asteroid or something that was coming past us. Something in space, a rock was moving, predicting the trajectory of it. Landed it, took a soil sample, and launched back off of it. We have that technology to do that. But we cannot go, a manned craft any further than our moon,
Yeah.
So think about that for a second. Like, if we could do that, imagine if somebody has the technology to come here. Like, we can't, this is like, I know this is sort of like dipping into like the religious part of it.
Yeah.
I don't think we can fully fathom what the abilities would be of somebody that could make it here.
I actually think that what you're saying explains the gap between us right now trying, we're scurrying around trying to figure it out, and then whatever the hell that is going on up there, is that we've always assumed that first contact would be with other beings that exist on our same three-dimensional plane of existence. But
Right.
we know that the universe doesn't play by our rules. We're kind of stuck in its rules.
Right.
And that would also explain why the government got so interested in oh God, what the hell is it called? It was a whole program that it kicked off like 2 years before the disclosure stuff happened.
Bluebeam?
No, it has to do with interdimensional engineering.
Oh, okay.
Trying to figure out like how to build machines that we could kind of peek and see things that we're not able to see now. Because there's even what do you call it? Sciences and studies that say that we might even be able to understand molecules that don't exist in our three-dimensional, and we could figure out how those are affecting us right now.
Right.
We're limited by what we have the technology for right now, and even our own physiology is limited to the three-dimensional.
Yeah.
So my thought is like if there's lights in the sky and there's crafts flying around, they probably don't have any, because how the fuck would, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's like an ant trying to catch a baseball.
Exactly. That's kind of my point on it too. Is like that would be the equivalent of, say, spider monkeys trying to collect the downed F35.
Yeah.
It'd
be way too much.
We're assuming that everything's on the same scale, and it is not. There's no way it can be. For them to reach us, they are on a much higher scale of knowledge of technology that we can't even fucking fathom.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is kind of like just regurgitating rhetoric that we've spoke on the show before, but think about your iPhone.
Yeah.
Right. Now let's go back to 1989, 1990. Right.
Yeah.
Me and you were in elementary school. Tyler, what year were you born?
1991.
Oh, see, Tyler was sperm. Right. So like, try to wrap your mind around what an iPhone can do from that mindset.
Oh yeah.
Now it's going to be exponentially more,
Yeah.
I mean, this would be like, taking a 3D printer and an iPhone and missile guidance systems back to Vikings. You know?
I can imagine.
Right. Like, I mean, you know, they didn't even have gunpowder.
Yeah.
They were just really good at steel. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, to think of, you know, Ming Dynasty China. They had bottle rockets, basically, you know?
Yeah.
And it was fun. And they made colors out of it by using oars, you know? And then show them an airplane.
Right.
Show them the stealth bomber.
I wonder too. I mean, from the point of view of I mean, it's hard for me to say visitor or alien or whatever because we just don't know, you know. I still stand behind. I think it's just drones from somewhere else, just taking information, you know, logging info. If they're that far ahead, why would they give two shits?
Right.
And if they do give that much of a shit about this planet, that does not bode well for everybody involved. If they really cared that much about life on this planet, that's scary because that means there isn't that much life out there. So my thought is like if they are existing on some higher form or higher plane of whatever, do they have difficulties with us too? Like, I know they say, well, a higher dimension should be able to perceive a lower dimension just the same way that we can perceive 2D and 1D. But how do we communicate with 2D or 1D?
Right.
We don't know of anything living in the 2-dimensional or the 1-dimensional. We don't have any kind of confirmation of that. So we can't communicate with these things. So are we just kind of in this endless stalemate where we're going to see lights in the sky and that's that?
I mean, that's a great question.
Yeah, we need a goddamn physicist on the show.
We do. Somebody that can square us up and see if we're completely off base or making any sense.
We need an extremely patient physicist.
Yeah, somebody that's not going to be like, why would I waste $200,000 of schooling to talk to these fools?
Yeah.
That's
because
why we need
listeners
Neil.
Need it.
We need Neil because we need to ask the questions that everybody else is scared to ask.
That's my daughter.
Hello, podcast.
Oh man, guys, I am feeling shittier and shittier as I go here. So I don't know if I can keep going.
No, man. Hell, we've almost got 45 minutes of this, and it's good.
Yeah, I started out okay, and I woke up okay, and I start getting the headache, man, and like I said, I'm sure I'll be better just in enough time to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
But unless you guys have more to add, man, I'm probably gonna tap out.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you all out there take care of each other. Sorry, I got some kind of head cold thing going on. I don't know what it is, but see you on the next one. Take care of each other.
Mwah.
See ya.
Oh, you know what, Tyler? You have to give them one more because
you missed last week. Yep. Yeah, your computer glitched out.
My computer glitched out. Mwah.
There you go. See, all caught up. That wasn't so bad.
Right. It was easy.
There you go. We'll see you.